Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for watching today. And today we are back with another edition of Funko Pop News. And today we're going to be covering everything that happened during Funko Fair 2022. But mostly we're going to be talking about some of the announcements that really stood out to me. Just because there were 4 days worth of announcements and I wasn't able to do daily updates like I did last year. I'm just going to be going through some of the bigger moments, some of my favorite announcements of the event, and then kind of give my thoughts on the event overall there at the end. So we have a lot to get into, so we'll definitely jump right into it. But first, of course, if you guys can, just make sure to leave a like on the video. Hit that subscribe button as well. Help us get to 2,000 subscribers. It would be a big deal for us. So thank you guys so much. So Funko Fair took place last week. So it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it was a 4-day event. I believe last year, if I'm not mistaken, was 2 weeks. It was like 10 days, Monday through Friday on 2 different weeks for them to make all the announcements. And it was big and it seemed really well planned. They even had videos, production value in those videos. And it was done really well. And I thought it was great. They had so many awesome figures that they announced that I was looking forward to, from the Pinocchio set and the Alice in Wonderland set to the Lilo and Stitch set, some of the DC and Marvel Pops, Star Wars Pops. They announced the Rise of Skywalker Pops. So many new Funko Pops that they were bringing out in 2021. They got a lot of us excited, including a ton of anime Pops that time as well. But this year, something was audibly different. They did not really have much of a plan going into it. They didn't even tell us that there was a Funko Fair until I think like 2 days before it happened. There was actually a post on GameStop's website that had a countdown to Funko Fair. And there were no other official announcements really until 2 days before, when Funko finally said, hey, Funko Fair is coming on the 15th of February. Get ready for the announcements. So it kind of seemed a little bit short. Then when it actually came, it was really just posts online of what's going to be coming and no other additional like videos to come along with it. I mean, they did some reveals a little bit later, some out-of-box looks, first looks on like their pages or on their YouTube channel when they did those part of their like Funko Fun TV type of thing. But besides that, they really do much for the actual Funko Fair, which was interesting. And I know that maybe they didn't have everything together because they weren't sure when things were going to be coming in, if they had to delay certain announcements or not, which it seemed like there were certain things that people were expecting to be announced that did not get announced. Maybe it was because of those shipping delays. So I know things could be a little bit hard for them, but it's just a little odd that it just didn't really put much effort into this year's compared to like they did last year. Last year was just done really well. So it just, this year kind of dwarfs in comparison. But of course, we're still here for the figures at the end of the day. So we still want to make sure to focus in on what are the things they actually announced and do they live up to the hype. So they started off on the Tuesday by announcing, first off, some new Boruto Pops, which do look pretty cool. Of course, you guys know I'm not a huge anime guy myself, so I haven't watched a lot. I've watched some anime, mostly like My Hero Academia, Avatar: The Last Airbender, stuff like that. So I've not really watched Naruto or Boruto outside of seeing a few things on like Cartoon Network later at night when they used to do their Toonami type of stuff. But these Pops definitely look cool. From what I recall, I think some of these characters are, of course, Boruto, I think Kawaki, and I think Choo is the girl's name with the big fist. But I don't remember the names of the other 2 figures down there on the bottom. But they definitely do look cool. I actually did just go recently over to my local comic book shop, and they actually had that brand new Boruto in the store. That was a part of the brand new wave. So it looks like that is starting to hit some stores as well. And I think Hot Topic even said that it's supposed to be releasing like in March for them. So that's going to be coming very, very soon. So if you guys are excited for those new Boruto Pops, definitely keep an eye out. But it wasn't just those, as they also had some exclusives, as they had a Boruto glow-in-the-dark limited edition piece from Entertainment Earth that's going to be coming sometime soon. There was also a Chalice Collectibles exclusive Sasuke, which this is another Sasuke chase because I think there was another one that came out in the last wave of Naruto / Boruto Pops, and now there's going to be another one here. Looks like Sasuke with the lightning there, and it looks like the glow-in-the-dark Chase has a kind of like a blue hair, which actually looks pretty neat. And then Kawaki has a glow-in-the-dark Hot Topic exclusive version, which is available for pre-order through Hot Topic's website. Just keep in mind, if you're ordering through Hot Topic, they charge an extra like $2.99 per item for pre-sales now, which is super, super weird. They didn't always used to do that, but if you want that item, it's available for you. You might have to pay $20 for it, but it is there for you to be able to pre-order. And then the next announcement that I really liked was the new Legally Blonde Funko Pops. And I think this is the first time we're getting any sort of Legally Blonde Pops, which is really cool. It's actually a movie that I really do enjoy. I really like the first one. I actually grew up watching that one a lot. And so this one's definitely really great. Reese Witherspoon is fantastic as well. So there are 4 different Pops in this set. So we have Elle Woods in her bikini there. It looks like she's kind of outside in the sun. We also have Elle holding her dog Bruiser, and her outfit looks like kind of right when she went to Harvard Law School. And then we have that iconic scene of her going into the party dressed as a bunny. And they also have an Entertainment Earth exclusive Diamond Edition, which looks like, at least from the artwork, looks like it is done pretty well with the diamond. So I really do like that. I'm excited to see that one in person. Now, one thing that Funko's starting to do, and it might be starting to go a little bit overboard seeing as the amount of announcements they had in this kind of format for the Funko Fair, but it is the covers. So they've done video game covers. We've unboxed the Sonic one here on the channel. The comic book covers that we saw with Superman, and a Batman one coming sometime soon as well. See, it looks like that one got delayed. They announced another comic book cover, and this one is going to be the Wonder Woman Rebirth. So of course DC did a whole Rebirth series to kind of reboot a lot of the heroes, and so this one with the Wonder Woman, and the artwork on the comic book looks absolutely sick. And this one actually did catch my eye a lot because I also really like the figure and the detail there. So you have Wonder Woman in front there. It actually looks like she's standing on top of a skull, and she has that white cape behind her. That looks really, really cool. The bad thing about these ones is that they are pretty big. So I think there's something like 8 inches, something like that. 8 to 10 inches. So they take up a lot of space. But still, if you are someone who really likes comic books and loves these comic book characters, it's definitely something that you guys might enjoy. And last year, I think Funko ended up putting out a couple different Britney Spears Pops, and they're going to continue to do that going into 2022. I mean, she is a hot name right now with all of the news that she has had over the past year, and now it actually just came out that she's going to be doing a tell-all book, so I'm sure she's going to be continuing to be in the news. But now they're doing some more Funko Pops for Britney Spears. They're doing a new pop album here from Walmart called Oops, I Did It Again. They a classic song there. And then there's also going to be a Funko Pop based on her outfit from the music video of her song Circus. And that actually comes with a chase. And the chase is her with a hat on. She actually has the whip in her hand in both of them. And from the photo, it actually looks like it's kind of like a little bit sparkly, so there might be some glitter on the hat with the chase. And I mentioned the covers, and so they actually announced their biggest cover yet, and it's going to be the brand new Funko Pop movie posters. And the first one they're going to be doing is for Jurassic Park, which is an absolutely amazing movie. I absolutely love that movie, and so it's really cool that they made this the first movie poster that they're doing. But what's interesting is that if you look in the picture, there are a couple things actually that stick out. One is that it says number 3. Now that could just be the artwork. We'll see when it actually gets released if that's number 1 or number 3, because it's the first one that they're actually announcing here. The second thing is how massive this is. You know, movie posters are pretty big. So this one is 17 inches tall, 11 inches wide, and then 5.5 inches back. So this is going to be a big pop, or a big movie poster, which is going to be something you could probably hang up on your wall. I mean, I definitely have to find out if I have room in my office here to be able to hang that up, because it would be really cool. I did go ahead and order it because I was able to get a deal, because there was a little bit of confusion about this item. So of course there's going to be lots of different stores that sell pops when they're announced, especially if they're commons. and this is kind of considered a common. So the main distributor for Funko is going to be, Entertainment Earth, and they priced it up at $60. But they were the only ones that priced it at $60. All the other stores actually priced it like $35, $40. Some I saw at $28. And then Pop in a Box actually posted it at, I believe, $14.99, which was super, super crazy. So I actually ordered it from Pop in a Box, hoping that I was going to get a steal of a deal. Unfortunately, Pop in a Box caught on and actually ended up canceling the orders there. But I was actually able to order it right after that from GameStop, because GameStop still had theirs up for only $35. So I was able to get mine for practically half off, which I think is a great deal. So I'm definitely excited to be able to get mine at a good price. Then, of course, I love my Marvel Pops, and one thing they've been doing with a lot of Marvel Pops has been doing these connecting series. So they did it with the Avengers Assemble, which was really cool. Then they are doing it with the Victory Shawarma, which we should be getting our last piece of that right about now, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Thor one is the last piece. And then they're also doing right now the Amazing Spider-Man, which we'll see later. They announced another piece of that set. And then they're doing a couple other ones as well. This one they're doing is going to be from Avengers Infinity War. It's going to be the Guardians of the Galaxy, their ship, the Benatar. So we have this piece with Star-Lord, and so it looks like going to be the first of 6 pieces that will be connecting. So it's going to look like them in the ship when they're maybe going over to try to find that distress signal that Thor and his ship is sending out. And so you have Star-Lord. I'm sure there's going to be Gamora, Rocket, Drax, Mantis, and Groot. It's going to be those 6. Probably nothing that's going to be too surprising about that. We'll see how the rest of them go, but honestly, it kind of just looks a little bland. Yeah, it is Peter Quill in the seat there, but the rest of it's just kind of a gray, kind of metallic look. So there's nothing really that stands out about this. So this one, personally, I might be I might pass up on it for now. We'll see when the other characters come out if there's extra details to get added, but doesn't look anything too spectacular for me. And then we got our first Star Wars announcement of Funko Fair, and this was going to be for the Star Wars anime Star Wars Visions. Now, I didn't finish the show. I only saw a couple episodes, but it was really cool for what I saw. The first one was definitely really awesome, and I believe that one was the Ronin episode. And so we did get a new announcement of a Pop and Tee bundle that comes with the Ronin, and then that t-shirt, which looks absolutely sick with kind of that anime look to it. And then we also have, I think this was already announced previously, but the Pop Deluxe with Ronin and his BB unit. Or at least, no, it's a B5 unit. Still pretty cool. And then they also announced a couple more characters, which was Kari and Am, I believe is how you pronounce that. Those are definitely kind of two cool looking characters. Kind of look like a little bit like Inquisitors. But definitely look super, super cool. And I'm excited to get those in. Those both glow in the dark, which is going to make it even better. And one of the best sitcoms of all time is definitely going to be Parks and Recreation. And we're finally getting some more Parks and Recs Pops. I mean, they released the new ones last year as a part of the new wave. They got like new exclusive out as well with the Ben Wyatt Pop. Now we're getting a new Target exclusive for Funko Fair. And this is going to be Jerry with Little Sebastian. It's going to be a 2-pack. And I love Little Sebastian. I love this episode when they have like Harvest Festival there. It's really, really cool. Really funny. And the fact they're putting it back to these two together, it's the first time we're going to be seeing Jerry as a Funko Pop. It's really cool. And I think it's been like 4 years now since they have put out, 4 or 5 years at least, since they put out a Little Sebastian Pop. So it's cool they're now going back to that board and bringing one of those characters back. And then Funko got back some more anime Pops. And this time they had announced a new line of Tokyo Ghoul Pops. Now I'm not very familiar with Tokyo Ghoul myself, but these ones do look pretty cool. Looks like they got Toru, Psycho, Kuki, and then they also have Sasuke, or Hayas Sasuke. I completely butchered that name. I apologize. But looks like they do have those characters that came. And then they also brought us a couple of exclusives. One of them being a Specialty Series Pop, and another one being a Sure Things Toys exclusive glow-in-the-dark figure. And I'm glad that Sure Thing Toys finally got an exclusive. I believe this is their first one, if I'm not mistaken. There's someone that we've ordered from before. We've gotten our entire set of the boys there. We got our Cobra Kai Pops there as well. I've ordered from them multiple times, and they've done a good job. So I'm happy that they're finally getting an exclusive. And here's another one of those connecting pieces that I mentioned before. This is the Beyond Amazing Spider-Man connecting set. And this is the second piece of the set they've announced. Originally they released, they announced the Dr. Octopus one, and now they have done the Vulture, and it's Vulture in its kind of classic suit. And honestly, I'm not really too impressed by this because it actually looks like they just took the old design of Vulture that they did for the Marvel 80th Anniversary series, and they kind of just redid him in this new kind of setting. Now, the Doc Ock one does look very similar to the 90s Spider-Man the Animated Series cartoon pop, but hey, at least it does look a little bit different. But yeah, they kind of just picked them up off of another pop and put them onto another stand into a different setting so they can connect them together. But we are going to get the Sinister Six, it looks like. Probably get the Hobgoblin maybe, or Green Goblin, maybe even Venom. Electro probably is in there. Probably a couple other characters. They could go back and forth to which ones are going to be in the Sinister Six, but it looks like it is Spider-Man from the silhouette, and then we have the Sinister Six around them as well. So that could be a pretty cool one once it all comes together. I think I'll probably end up getting these, but I think I might wait until they all come out and then see if I want to connect them together. Now, the pop that I thought was probably one of the best announcements they made the entire week was this Avengers Loki Funko Pop, and this looks absolutely sick. Now, this is going to be an Entertainment Earth exclusive, and this is a glow-in-the-dark pop. Now, the scepter is the only thing that glows on him, so don't expect that you're going to be able to see the whole thing glow. It is just the scepter, which was him from Avengers Endgame holding the Tesseract, and just the Tesseract glowed. So kind of a similar idea, but this one is going back to the original Avengers, and I love the look on it, and I love the updated sculpt and the detail of this pop, so it's definitely one that I have to get. And right in the Marvel wave, they also announced more Marvel Blacklight pops, which have been super popular from all the waves they've done. I think they've done 3 waves, if I'm not mistaken. They're doing a new one for the another Infinity Saga, and this time though, things look a little weird. But they do have 5 characters. They have Captain America, Sam Wilson. They got Scarlet Witch, Kate Bishop with Lucky, Sylvie, and then they also have King Killmonger, or actually Infinity Killmonger from What If. So those 5 characters will be getting a new Blacklight version. They actually are doing a jumbo size Infinity Killmonger there, which does look great. I do really like the Kate Bishop one with Lucky. I think the colors on that one definitely fit the best. But it just looks a little odd with these other ones. With Wanda and with Captain America and with Sylvie, the colors just don't quite match up really well. With the old figures, they really just pick colors that mesh well together in the blacklight. Now, my mind might change once we actually see it in the blacklight, but just looking at the photo, I don't really love the Captain America, Wanda, or Sylvie ones, but of course I'll definitely be picking them up because I want to continue that Marvel Blacklight set. But for those of you who still want Infinity Killmonger but do not want a 10-inch version, don't worry. They ended up putting out an announcement for a Pop and Tea bundle for Infinity Killmonger. It's a regular 4-inch pop that you'll be able to get at the Blacklight, and it comes with that Blacklight t-shirt too, which looks really sick. I love the artwork of the pop. It looks like another detail right on top of the t-shirt looks like it is the Watcher looking over him, which is another cool detail. And Funko is not done with the cover kind of Funko Pops, as they announced a whole line of NBA and basketball related pops that are all going to be covers, and these ones are the Slam magazine covers for basketball for the NBA. And Slam magazine, if you guys do not know, was an extremely popular basketball magazine back in the 80s and the 90s, and it really did celebrate basketball during its kind of boom. And 3 of the best basketball players of the 90s and going into the 2000s that really have some of the biggest personalities are going to be featured on these pops. So we see Allen Iverson, Vince Carter, and Shaquille O'Neal. I really do like these figures, not only because of the Slam magazine or backgrounds behind them, but also the Pops themselves. They tried to make them as close as possible to replicating what the stance was on the actual magazine. So with Shaq, he's actually holding the basketball and reaching out. So he's holding the basketball and reaching out there, which is really cool. Of course, Vince Carter, you can't really have him hold the basketball behind his head, but he's having the basketball by his side. So that looks really great as well. So I'm a big fan of these Slam magazine pop covers. And then I remember a while ago, Funko made the announcement sometime last year that they partnered up with Panini to make kind of like a Funko basketball trading card kind of partnership. And we're finally finding out what that actually is, as they have made Funko Panini Prism Funko Pop trading card covers, which is kind of a mouthful, but essentially it's just that it's a Funko Pop just like the Slam magazine ones, but they actually have a giant trading card behind the figure as the background. So they're coming out with a number of players right off the bat. So they have LaMelo Ball, LeBron James, and Luka Doncic in the first photo, and they all definitely look really great there. And then they also are bringing over Stephen Curry, Zion Williamson, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. And just like we saw with the Slam basketball covers, these are also trying to do something with the figure that's a little bit different what the normal stances are and what they're actually doing on the actual card. So like with Giannis, it looks like he's about to jump and make a dunk. Stephen Curry, it looks like he's going up for the layup. Zion looks like he's about to dribble in between his legs. So that's really cool. They're doing things that are just a little bit different to go away from what the other Pops were. Because so far, like the NBA City jerseys and some of the other Pops, either has them just standing there or they're doing the regular dribbling stance. So it's cool they're doing this. I would love to see more of it. And then Funko went back to the anime and they were bringing back a very, very highly anticipated line, which was Black Clover. I hear people asking for Black Clover Pops all the time, whether it's on Twitter or when I'm on Whatnot. I hear people asking, oh, do you have Black Clover Pops? Because I think they put them out before, but they have not put them out in a very long time. So they're putting out a whole new line of them. And these ones definitely do look cool. So they have Asta, Noelle, Yuno, and they're also putting out a Chase variant over from AAA Anime. So there's Luck Voltia that actually comes with a glow-in-the-dark Chase variant, which is super, super cool looking. And it's actually cool. They didn't just make the same pop and then make it glow in the dark. They actually changed the sculpt of it, which looks a little bit different. So that definitely does look cool, and that one did catch my eye. Now you might remember last year, one of the things Funko announced, and I don't remember if they did it during Funko Fair, but they had announced some Avengers Mech Strike Pops. And I did end up picking up one of them. I picked up the Black Panther one from Target because it did kind of look a little bit cool. But overall, the line just was a dud, just like the Lucha Libre Pops for Marvel. They were complete duds. But they are taking another crack at it with Marvel Mech Stripe Monster Hunters. I'm not really familiar with where the Mech Stripe comes from. I know it's a comic book series, but I'm not really familiar with how popular it is. But it looks like they are taking that inspiration. And there was a whole line of them. But we're just going to be focusing here on today with some of the exclusives that they have. So they're going to have all of these being Walmart exclusive, it looks like. So they're going to have a jumbo size Venom Mech Strike a Monster Hunter one. Looks pretty interesting with that tongue coming out. Definitely looks like Venom. They have a glow-in-the-dark Green Goblin. And then they also are going to have a Spider-Man one, which comes with the glow-in-the-dark chase. So I assume there's going to be a common, and then there's also going to be a glow-in-the-dark, maybe, Green Goblin, because they look a little bit different. Or maybe the color on him changes when he glows. I'm not sure what they're showing there. But there are some variants, but this is probably one that I'm going to be passing on. And Funko couldn't let you get away without making you see one more cover. This one is going to be the Vhs Covers, which is interesting that they're going that route. I guess they're only going to have a certain number of like classic Disney movies for this line, honestly. Because not a lot of other movies that you'll think of for VHS. I guess just a bunch of classic movies that came out in the 80s and 90s they'll do. or at least the 90s. But Simba on Pride Rock for the Lion King is one here. It does look pretty cool, especially with Simba actually sitting on top of a rock there. That does look great. But again, these kind of take up a little bit too much space to be of interest to me. Now, the pop that I was most excited to see announced, and it's my most anticipated, and I definitely had to order right away, was this new Alice in Wonderland pop-in-a-box exclusive Cheshire cat. Now, the reason it looks so awesome is, one, I mean, the design there, that looks great. He took his head off his body, standing on his head with his feet. That looks great. But also, it does come with a chase variant that you can get. And this is actually a flocked glow-in-the-dark chase. I have not seen that on a pop. The only time I remembered Funko ever making a flocked glow-in-the-dark chase was when they had their Secret Squirrel Funko Soda. I believe that was a flocked glow-in-the-dark chase. I don't think anyone else has ever gotten that type of treatment for a pop. So this is going to be a really exciting thing that we're going to be able to get. Hopefully I can get my hands on a chase, and I would love to get my hands on it so I can see and show it off to you guys how it really all worked out. This is definitely one that I was most excited about. I think it's the best pop they announced. And then Funko had to go back to the Pokemon, of course. But I am glad we announced some new Pokemon because we're getting new Pokemon, I think, like in March or April. And now we're going to be getting another set of Pokemon that's going to be coming about halfway through 2022. And so the 3 new Pokemon they announced for Pops is going to be Leafeon, Piplup, and Lapras. And they all definitely do look great. And Lapras, of course, is also coming out with a bigger 10-inch figure. I believe it's going to be exclusive to Target, but it's going to be a jumbo size pop, and that definitely looks really great as well. Some extra detail on there. I really do like that one, so I'm happy they put out another wave. Now, normally I don't really like a lot of art series figures. It's very seldom that I actually like a art series figure, but this time it's actually one of the exceptions that I do like art series figures. So Funko had announced a new set of Star Wars art series figures for Darth Vader. So we actually got 4 different Darth Vader looks, which all look pretty cool. So I think one of them is Endor. I think one is Bespin, if I'm not mistaken, Mustafar, and Hoth. I think that's the 4 different planets that they're on. They do look great, especially that Hoth one is my favorite, having kind of that blue icy look. Definitely looks cool, and the fact that all of the figures are doing something different. One is doing the force choke, one is kind of pointing, one's using the lightsaber. They all look a little bit different too with different poses. So that's actually pretty cool that they have them all like that. And then with Star Wars, they also announced another piece for their connecting set, which was for Duel of the Fates. So a couple months ago, they had released the Darth Maul one for pre-order, and now they put it for pre-order the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Of course, the third piece is going to be Qui-Gon Jinn, and I can't wait to see Qui-Gon Jinn released, and then we're going to be able to put that together, because that Duel of the Fates is one of the best scenes in all of Star Wars, one of the best lightsaber duels, so it's going to be really cool to be able to have them all 3 together. It's such an iconic moment now looking back at The Phantom Menace. That's definitely the best part of the movie. And then the final announcement of Funko Fair was showing us that we're finally getting some new fairy tale pops, and they have definitely not released fairy tale pops, I think, since like 2017, so it's been quite a while. But we're finally getting some more fairy tale pops. So the 6 characters that they're going to be releasing, they have Mavis, Ezra, Laxus, Mira Jane, Jalel, and then they're also over at FYE releasing an exclusive for Grey Fullbuster. So we are getting some pretty cool looking characters there. I'm not very familiar with them myself again because I'm not really a huge anime person, but it looks like this is based off the final season of Fairy Tail. So fans of the show are going to be able to get those final moments of the show made in pop form to be able to celebrate. So as everything that I really thought stood out for Funko Fair 2022. Now, that's not all of the announcements. There were some Loungefly stuff. There was some Five Nights at Freddy's figures and a few other pops that were announced. And also some Funko Sodas as well. But I just, there wasn't a lot that really stuck out to me. The Funko Sodas were actually a little underwhelming. I'll kind of talk about it a little bit now. I know there was Doctor Strange and a Addams Family one. There were a few other sodas, but none of them really stuck out to me as well. A Goofy soda, I didn't really like any of them really. Honestly, the Funkos that were announced like last week during Funko Fun TV were way better than the ones they announced at Funko Fair. I wish they really flipped those around, because use the good ones during Funko Fair. Those ones would have really stood out to me. But they are alright. Nothing too crazy for the Funko Sodas. Well, as far as Funko Pops, these were all the ones that really stood out to me. My favorites are definitely the Cheshire Cat and the Loki with Scepter. And then honestly, after that, I would probably say the Darth Vader art series ones. The Hoth one is definitely really great as well. And then I really do like those NBA Pops, just because I'm a big fan of basketball and the NBA. Those are definitely all great. And as far as the ones I actually pre-ordered, I didn't actually pre-order a ton of Pops. I mentioned that I got the Jurassic Park one. I did pre-order the Loki with Scepter, the Marvel Blacklight Pops, most of the trading card NBA Pops, the Darth Vader art series ones, and then I also pre-ordered the Cheshire Cat. So that's all I pre-ordered, although it kind of sounds like a lot, but that's all I pre-ordered from this. I'm letting everything else kind of sit. And if I end up seeing them in stores later, which I sure I will, because they're pretty much all commons, then I'll come back to that later. But they didn't really announce too much in the terms of exclusives. Last year's Funko Fair, they announced some Funko Shop exclusives that were going to come down the line that we were able to expect. They announced like a Michael Jordan exclusive and the Stitch exclusive and a Zombie Moon Knight and all this stuff that you would be able to see early on in 2021. They didn't do any of that for this year. So that was kind of confusing why they didn't take a step to let us know a little bit more about what was happening. But if they're not going to be able to get exclusives out to us, just let us know, communicate with us, instead of just giving us less announcements overall. But at least what we got, there was some cool stuff. I didn't like it as much as last year. I honestly think that they're probably putting more of their heavy hitters into Funko Fun TV to get more people to watch that. But, you know, this is Funko Fair, so I wish we saw a little bit more out of it, at least for more effort put into the announcements. But it was still cool to see the figures that they did announce overall. So let me know in the comments down below, what were your thoughts about Funko Fair? Did you like this year's Funko Fair? Was it underwhelming? Did you really love it? What do you think about the actual figures that were announced? And what are you going to pick up for your collection? Let me know about all that in the comments down below. And of course, if you guys can, just make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Help us get to 2,000 subscribers. It will help a ton. And thank you guys so much for watching today. And as always, we'll see you again real soon.